stop following President William Ruto blindly against the wishes of the people.
Then why were you picking small fights?
Let me explain to you. They are not small fights. It's the president who is calling them small fights. Advising members of parliament to listen to the ground is not a small fight. It's a very honorable duty for a leader of my caliber. I listened to the people. The people did not want the finance bill 2024. And I told the members of parliament, people do not want the finance bill. Don't follow the president blindly. He will leave you komata. And if you people don't adjust by this December and start listening to the people of the Mount Kenya region make decisions the second year of election. And I was telling them from my experience, by the end of this year in December, if you guys have not aligned yourself with the people and listened to the people are crying about over taxation. The people are saying they don't want the affordable housing. The people are saying they don't want you to tax avocado. The people are saying that there's too much government into people's lives. And you people are following William Ruto blindly. I'm advising you people as your leader. From what the Wananchi are telling me, if you don't adjust and listen to the people, you will find yourself in trouble come 2027.
But it just wasn't MPs. According to the president, his PA Farouk Kibet received...
I'll explain. I'll explain. Let me first deal with the 10 billion. President William Ruto is a master with deceit. And he's very good at driving narratives to suit what he wants. Between the year 2018 and 2022, he drove a narrative in the Mount Kenya region that Uhuru Kenyatta is incompetent, he's a drunkard, and he has ruined the economy and the country.
But it's collective responsibility. You were right next to him.
I'm just saying, among the people he persuaded many people, I included, because he's very persuasive when he gets on a narrative. And he drove a narrative against Uhuru Kenyatta and recruited all of us, I included. I was among the leaders of those who believed in what he told us, that Uhuru Kenyatta is a drunkard, is a useless leader, is a man who has messed this country, is a man who cannot be trusted to organize the succession. And we should despise him, we should hate him. And we listened to William Ruto and he persuaded us. 5 years down the line, Uhuru Kenyatta is gone. William Ruto, the one who said Uhuru is incompetent, has come on stage. The education system that was working when Uhuru Kenyatta was there is finished. Children at home. The health system has crumbled. People are overtaxed. Nothing is working in the country. Yet, at that time, he had persuaded us that Uhuru Kenyatta is an incompetent man. Is a drunkard, is a leader not worth talking about. He came and persuaded us that our enemy as a region is Raila Odinga, who is a witch doctor. And since Uhuru Kenyatta has brought him, and Uhuru Kenyatta does not mean well for us, we should hate Uhuru Kenyatta and trust William Ruto to carry our destiny. We believed him. He's very good in driving narratives. So when he came to the mountain, he needed to drive a narrative against Gachagua, thinking that the people are as gullible as they were then. And he was confident that if he could successfully drive a narrative against Uhuru Kenyatta when he was president, he could equally drive a narrative against Gachagua. And he cobbled this narrative of 10 billion. The purpose was to show the people of the Mount Kenya region, this Gachagua guy is a very selfish man.
So did you or did you not blackmail the president?
Of course I did not blackmail the president, because if I did, Rogers, yes, it would have been accusation number 1 before the Senate. This impeachment was crafted by William Ruto. It was drafted by the National Intelligence Service and Professor Kindiki. And the president either had blackmailed him. Blackmail is a criminal offense. It should have been accusation number 1. It did not appear anywhere. Since October 18, the president has never talked about it until he came to the mountain. And the president had better make up his mind why he outed me out of office. When he went to Western Kenya, he said he got rid of me because I was incompetent and tribal. He never told the people of Western Kenya asking for 10 billion. When he went to Northeastern Kenya, he said he got rid of me because I'm divisive and I don't like the unity of the country. When he went to Nyanza, he said that I am primitive, yeah, and corrupt. When he came to the mountain, he never said I'm tribe because he cannot say that. He never said I'm incompetent because he cannot do that.
Okay.
He said that I was asking for 10 billion. In fact, on Thursday morning, he met Madera women dancers. There is a group of 1,000 women that I put together to dance for Uhuru Kenyatta. And then I handed them out to William Ruto. Most of them are friends of my late mother. Others are women who have educated their children from Form 1 up to university. My friends. He met them and told them, huyu Rigathi wenu alikuwa anaitisha mimi bilioni 10. Na nikaona kuliko kule peke yake, nimfukuze, hii pesa nigawe na nyinyi nyote. So leo mtakula hii pesa ningepatia Rigathi. Those women, he gave them each 8,000 shillings. That is 8 million shillings. And he gave another 2 million shillings towards the funeral of their child who has died. And the woman called me and said, this man is a liar. Because we know you. During the 2022 elections, Roger, William Ruto picked me as running mate because of my mobilization skills and my capacity to mobilize resources. Everybody knows I'm not a poor man. I was in a lot of trouble with the fourth administration because of funding William Ruto. The fourth administration froze my accounts so that I stopped funding William Ruto. The fourth administration blocked all my businesses so that I stopped giving money to William Ruto. I put serious money into his campaign. I am not the kind of man to go asking William Ruto to give me any money. In any case, let me ask you a question. William Ruto should make up his mind how much money I'm supposed to have asked. His chief propagandist, Dennis Itumbi, and it's there, I have a copy I will give for 6.5 billion. Did an interview and said, I'm asking, can't they sit down and agree the figure that Rigathi Gachagua is supposed to have asked for? So I want to explain to you that to bring to the mountain because he needed to explain to them. Because he committed himself that he would never humiliate his deputy. He went beyond got rid of me. He needed something to tell the people of the mountain. But of course everybody knows it's a lie. Because if that was true, it should have come in the impeachment. Again, let me tell you, Rogers.
But I have to ask you, because you're equally on record in public mentioning that President William Ruto offered you 2 billion Kenya shillings to resign ahead of the impeachment in October.
Yes.
So isn't that a counter-narrative?
No. I talked before. He talked the other day. Okay. I have not talked after he has talked.
So your claims are true?
I said he talked to me. He sent a very senior officer in government. Well, he called me myself when we disagreed and said, I cannot work with you. I would like you to resign, and if you don't, I'll impeach you. And later on in the interview, I'll tell you why we disagreed. And he said, instead of you going home empty-handed, and since you assisted me, I would like you to go with your retirement package, and I can get you some money to get you started off, like 1.5, 2 billion. I told him to go to hell. I'm not interested. I'm priceless. And that kind of money, you know I have. You know how much I funded your campaign. I am not a man to be given 2 billion shillings. You know what the kind of money I am into. And therefore, I said, fine. He sent a very senior officer to come and see me. On Thursday, when the National Assembly resolved that I should be impeached by going to the Senate, that Friday, morning, he sent a very senior officer to come me. The following day,
but you know the burden.
He told the officer, and I refused to go to. State House. He suggested I go to it, and between me, that president. Again, I recorded that conversation. I put it on record. Again, he gave me that offer. I told him I'll think about it. I didn't want to have a fight with him because it was not necessary. That officer persuaded me that I should listen to the president. And because he's a man from home, he said, it doesn't matter, whatever it is, just listen to what he has to say.
Who is this officer?
No, I don't want
to. For the sake of our public, you call for an interview, you have to...
Let me explain. So I said no. I declined. The day I went to the Senate, the first day, that officer again was dispatched by the president. And I refused to see him, but after consultation with my counsels, I agreed to see him. Again, he brought me another offer. I recorded. I am very conflicted. That officer is an innocent man. He's an emissary of the president. He is in service. If I expose him now, he will lose his job. He will be in very difficult circumstances. So on discussion with my family and lawyers, we have agreed that when he retires, and it's not very long from now, we'll be able to release that information. And I've done that because I know his family, and I don't want to jeopardize his position. And because he did not come on his free will, he serves the president and he cannot be able to argue with him. I'll have that information. It is ready, it's well stored, and I would like to tell these people not to try to come and read here to get it. It's not here. I've stored it nicely. Again, in your lifetime, make the people of the mountain fight their son or their daughter. They will never do it. You made us, everybody is incompetent except you. Even now you are saying you are new, Mr. Esa is very competent. You are the only one who is competent. Everybody else who disagrees with you, everybody else who has a problem with your modus operandi, anybody else who has a problem with your leadership is incompetent. Okay. You are the only competent person in this country.
So, and with all due respect, we'll treat what you've said earlier on as allegations because you still haven't substantiated them. I have to ask you this because it's a multi-pronged question. When exactly did your friendship, your working relationship with President William Ruto start, and when did the rain start beating it?
Probably before we come to that, you said that he said I fight small people. I don't fight anybody. He says that I was fighting Farouk Kibet. Farouk Kibet is not a small man. He is a co-president in this country. Farouk Kibet runs the government. Everybody reports to him. The Inspector General of Police, the head of public service, cabinet ministers. William Ruto issues instructions to cabinet ministers tremble at his very sight. So, Farouk Kibet wanted to give instructions to Gachagua. Gachagua was elected by the people of Kenya alongside William Ruto. There is no way I would have allowed Farouk Kibet to give instructions to me. And let me tell you, Rogers, Farouk Kibet was trying to run my office, make appointments for people to come and see me. And initially, I thought it's okay, maybe that's how William Ruto wants us to work. Until I learned that Farouk Kibet was collecting money from people to come and see me, and I have nothing to give them in return. And I went and I told the president, Mr. President, I'm your principal assistant. Please, your personal assistant cannot give me instructions. And if you want to give me any instructions, you give them yourself and I obey them to the letter. But you cannot use your PA to order me around. And your PA is taking advantage to make money from people. And I told you, Mr. President, for your information, because I'm your advisor in this matter, I will be failing in my duty if I don't advise you and tell you what is happening. Okay. All the people Farouk Kibet is clearing to come and see you, he's collecting money. And there's hue and cry in town. And you, State House is getting very disrespected because it has become a center of corruption. All appointments of people coming to see you, Kibet is collecting money. And Mr. President, I think you need to check this. But if you want to continue with it, tell him to keep off my office. He is not going to make appointments in my office, and he cannot tell me whom to see.
So can you substantiate this? Faruk Kibet is not here to defend himself.
But the president raised a matter. You asking me for an answer?
Yes, yes.
See, I must give you an answer.
But I'm
not the one.
I've
never raised that issue.
Okay.
It's the president who raised the matter. I'm answering.
I'm just
to the people of
countering what you've said.
But
You've said that he's the one.
But I'm saying, Rogers, the president said that I'm fighting with small people. The answer is that Faruk Kibet is not a small person.
So you're fighting big people.
Fine. I was not fighting big people.
Yes.
I was telling the president, I'm elected. I'm not going to take instructions from your personal assistant. And I'm not going to allow him to push corruption in my office. If you want him to practice corruption in your office, you can go ahead.
But you just said he was collecting money for people to meet with you.
I learned the few people he had asked me to see. Later on, I heard noise in town that people are going to see the deputy president. Faruk has collected money on his behalf and he's not doing anything for us. That is when I got alarmed. I faced Kibet and he told me off. He said, I must make money. We serikali tumetafuta mimi nimeumia na William Ruto miaka mingi. And actually when I talked to the president about Faruk Kibet, he said, wewe achana na Faruk atafute pesa kidogo ya kukula bana. Hii mtu ameumia na mimi miaka mingi, akipata hapa kidogo kidogo yuko makosa gani? So, I'm telling you, so I'm the only man who would tell him off.
Okay.
When he says that I'm fighting small people, I don't know Itumbi. You can see the things he was writing about me. And Dennis Itumbi, the chief propagandist for William Ruto. Again, he's not a small man. This government of William Ruto is run by Itumbi and Faruk. This Itumbi, all these statements you see ministers issuing, like the one this year has issued about the violence yesterday in Mweki. It's Dennis who crafts them. He crafts the messages, and you can see even that is language. He gives them to read. And my problem with that so-called small man is that they work in cohort with the president. And he hangs around State House. And if you have a discussion with the president and he doesn't like the way it is going, he sends him a text. And Dennis walks into the president's office and says, Mr. President, you are late for the next meeting. And the president brings the meeting to a closure. I had not realized that until I studied, I saw there is a pattern. And any time I had many issues with the president that were not pleasant, I would face him and say, this is not right, this is not good, and I would win the argument, and he doesn't like it, and he would like to bring a meeting to a closure. Somehow, Dennis walks in, and I saw a pattern. So one day, we were launching, the president was going to sign, the housing levy law, bill into law. I was with the president in his office, the two of us, and I had a very hot conversation with him. And I was telling Mr. President, Kenyans are not interested in affordable housing. And people are very unhappy about the taxation. And Mr. President, only a fool doesn't change his mind. Let us look this thing. And please, from the feedback I'm getting from the ground, and Mr. President, I was elected with you. I mean, it's my job to tell you what the people are saying. And since we are elected together on a joint ticket, when I see we are going down and I don't tell you, it is not fair. Then when we were just continuing, I think he took a phone, Itumbi comes. And he said, Mr. President, we need to go. And I told Itumbi, my friend, next time you interrupt me when I'm with the president, you know who I am. Get off. I am the deputy president. I was elected with the president here. Who are you to come and interrupt our discussion? What we are discussing? The president just looked and said, I think we go. Okay? So that is how I raised that issue. And I told him, Mr. President, how do you get these people to come and interrupt a meeting with your deputy all the time? So that those are the issues he was saying.
Well noted.
I was fighting with small people.
Just to take you back briefly, because we're stuck of time, how much did you fund President William Ruto's campaigns?
No, I will not go into that. It's not necessary. I don't think I need to go into the details because I was also a candidate. Okay. I did not necessarily fund William Ruto. I funded the campaign because I was part of the campaign. Okay. And I don't think I need to go into those details.
Then tell me this, when did the rain start beating your friendship? When exactly?
It's not friendship, really, but we went into a covenant with the president. president was here many times, here in this house, down, beaten, harassed, frustrated, and he would come here for comfort. And my wife would pray for him. And we went a long journey from 2018 all the way to 2022. And I believed him and I trusted him. And since I'm a man of honor, I took his word for what it was. And we agreed many things, but we never wrote anything down. And that is a mistake that I made, that I regret today. And my community, the Mount Kenya people, regret today. But they have forgiven me because William Ruto is very deceptive. To deceive regarding Gachagua is nothing, because he deceived bishops, reverends, pastors, everybody, all of us, our own community. A very respectable community were deceived by one man. So I fell for it, and we agreed many things. And I went into it blindly. But as soon as we came in, the man changed completely. And all the things we had agreed, he became very arrogant. He said he's president. He said he'll do whatever he wants. And I can tell you where I started fighting things are not right is we had agreed on several portfolios for my people, because we had agreed, much as I'm a national leader and I'll be your deputy to assist you to manage the affairs of this country, I'll protect the interests of the Kenyan people in your government, because they have elected you and they give you 47% of the vote, and it was agreeable. And all the things we had agreed in terms of portfolios, interior, agriculture, water, lands, finance, he honored all those things without any reference to them. And I realized he had conned me and the community.
So that's when the issue
That
started.
is one of the issues.
Okay.
Number two, he keeps on saying people are tribal. He has accused me of tribalism. When we were appointing PSs, I asked him, since I was a public servant for a long time, we need institutional memory. These PSs are civil servants. Much as they served Uhuru Kenyatta, they are career civil servants. Mr. President, why don't we retain several of them for continuity instead of bringing everybody who is new? He said, no. But
there were some PSs who were retained.
No, let me explain. Let me explain. That's where I am. He said, we'll get our own people, they will learn on the job. I said, Mr. President, we are new. Me and you, we have just come. If we have new ministers, we have